happened was that was the decision that was made. I can't. We can't send we can't send this boy to Columbia. No, 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 because we don't know what will happen to that boy. I, I thank God that they had enough sense to send me there. Well, I wasn't going there anyway. I don't said, Mom, no, we going to Shamrock. We gonna go to Shamrock, Columbia High School over here. So we went to Shamrock, and got exposed to the things that I was exposed there. Actually, again, being exposed to certain things really help you out. Now, one offset, and I'll say this, and this will be a conversation that I will bring up later, but I want to just pull it as a bullet point. When you take a kid from a certain level of teaching, where let's just say you have a kid that in one school, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, he's a 10. Okay, he's a 10. He's a 10 at that school. And you take another kid from another school on a scale of 1 to 10, they're a 10 as well. There's no way to really gauge where that kid that is a 10 at this school in compared to this kid, unless there is a central testing, central mean, central evaluation to truly evaluate them with the same standards. Everything would have to be, if everything were the same, would this one and this one still be a 10? Well, in my situation, that wasn't the case. So while I was a 10 and very smart at Snapfinger, when I went over here to this high school, Shamrock, my stuff went on the same level. It went on the same level. I was a 10 at Snapfinger, but the 10 game that I had at Snapfinger, I couldn't take that 10 game or the 10 game that I would have had at Columbia. I could not take that 10 game and go over here and think I'm going to be a 10 at Shamrock. No, that didn't happen. That thing went all the way down about a 7, because we'll just say a 7 because that was a passing grade. You got 70, 60, 50. I was a 70. So I went from 10 acing and being in the top class. I'm doing the speeches and everything to a 7. Because the levels were different. So you got to understand that, because there's a lot that's going on right now. I was reading the article. I'm just saying, I was reading the article, and I won't get too far down here, that they said that because of affirmative action or something like that, they said, or the affirmative action being repealed or taken out, that not as many minorities, or specifically African Americans, I'm gonna say African Americans, not blacks, because black encompass a lot of different groups, but African Americans were not enrolling in your higher echelon schools. Well, that could be a good and a bad. I mean, it's not necessarily just a bad thing, because if you come from a school and you attend at your high school, but the rest of the folks that's going to that university, their school, they attend, but their standards are way up here. And on the testing, they give you the test, the SAT or the ACT, and you scored a 21 or 22 or 23, and most of the folks, they scored a 30, 32, 33, whatever the high things are. I sure didn't score up there, just letting you know. If they're there, then the standards of that university is going to be up here. You're going to have to raise your game. It's not that you can't do it, but you ain't been used to it. You ain't been trained in that. You have been trained in, I am the top dog and this is where I am. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get that opportunity, but I am saying that you should be able to at least pass the test that everybody else is. You should not have this thing where you raise your thing up. You scored a 22 And because of the color of your skin, you done raised up. And see, again, we're getting into this identity thing. We're getting into this thing where we are trying to make the way instead of letting God find the way. Are y'all here? We got to turn back to that scripture. You got to turn back to this. I got to follow God. I wasn't going to go here, but we got that. We got to go there. Look, he says, there is a way that seems right. It seems right. Affirmative action when it comes to schools and college, it seems right to me, but its end is the way of death. What am I saying? In a lot of situations, these people that would attend at these schools would go to these schools that the 10 was way up there, and they would not graduate. They would not graduate. They wouldn't graduate from the Ivy League schools. And there was many that did, but for the most part, I was reading this thing the other day from this particular college. I ain't gonna say the name of the college. They said, I might show it on the screen, but the college had a graduation rate. Did they say 5%, 10%? And it was a African American school. It was an HBCU. Now, thank God, all HBCUs ain't like that. My Lord, what? But this particular school, and there are schools that ain't HBCUs the same way. 5%, 5%. Why even in college? Wasting time, money, folk money. 5%. So you got 100% enrollment. Let's just say the school got 10,000 students. You got 10,000 students, and you telling me only 5% of the students. Let me get my calculator. I just want to see what that is. I just want to see what that is. So you got 10,000 students, and 5% of them students graduate. You know how many students? 500. So what happened to the other 9,500 students? See, we trying to do it our way, and we need to get out of God's way and let God do it His way. Maybe college ain't for you. It was that bad. Now I ain't talking about the ones that was a 10. You listen. You attend at that school. There is a college out there for you. It just ain't that one. It might not be Ivy League. It might be middle ground. It might be this over here. It might be hey, you can work it. You can make it. But there are some folks that's in college, man, because they're not following God's way, and they have no business being in college. They just like me. They had a 70. The top grade is 100. Y'all, it's 100. Top grade is 100. It's 100. And you sit up here with a 70 talking about I'm going to college. Okay. Whatever, man. Whatever rocks your boat. If you want to go in there with a 70 talking about you going to college without a metamorphosis happening. I mean, listen, you would have to have a life-changing event. You would have had to renew your mind. I mean, the Bible says in Romans 12, it say, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. Man, your mind would have had to been renewed so enough for you to turn that 70 into 100. I'm not saying it can't be done. It's been done before, but it's rare. You know why it's rare? Because did you ever get that this might not be what you're supposed to do? It ain't supposed to be for everyone. There's trade school, there's other schools, there's all types of different things that you can do. There's sales. You might not be the college person. We got to stop trying to fit people into something that they're never meant to be. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Stop trying to train your child in something and take them somewhere that they were never gifted to do. Everybody ain't meant to go to college. If they was, we would have graduation rates that were much higher. Because the teachers and the professors and the doctors sure ain't gonna take the blame for the people not graduating. I guarantee you right now, the doctors at that school, well, it's your fault that these kids ain't graduating. No, it ain't. They be like, no. Shoot, if they would get to their classes on time and they ain't gonna accept that blame. So stop trying to force them into something. Stay in school. Well, okay, I can roll with stay in school, high school. can stay in school, high school. Everybody should be able to get through that somewhere, somehow, or we should at least help them to do that. But God dog, they got to go to a 4-year college and pay money for it. My Lord. And they never meant to be there. Anyway, let me get off this because I this ain't where I was going. But I just got to end it. There's a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. You are killing. You're unaliving students academically, educationally, from a life standpoint, by putting them in situations that they were never meant to be in. Walk your path. Be okay with who you are. This is what my channel is all about. This is what this ministry is all about. Family, marriage, identity, God's way. I might not be, Albert Einstein. I might not be, Elon Musk. I might not be those people. But guess what? I can be maybe the Ford guy. I can maybe be, what's the guy that didn't graduate from college? He only went to Harvard, he's smart, but the Facebook guy. I can be the Facebook guy. He didn't finish college. Mark Zuckerberg. I can be Mark Zuckerberg. He didn't finish college. I can be Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't, I know he went to some business school or what have you, but I don't think he was like the top of his class, like the smartest one in the whole room. And if you listen to him talk, he don't talk like an Obama. Obama's like, the guy's genius in his talk. And I just want to, he got it. Shoot. Donald Trump, like, I didn't know she was nasty. I mean, come on, man. It's a big thing. You got to be who you are. You got to be okay with who you are. You might not be that dude. But be the dude that God made you. And I'm going to tell you right now, the dude that God made you is more than enough. The dude or the woman that God made you is enough to change the world. The dude or the woman that God made you is enough to make an impact. The dude or woman that God made you is enough for you to have great success. You got to be okay with that. And not be trying to push the envelope to go somewhere that God never meant you to go. I thank God that through my life, He helped me to understand that I don't have to be somebody that I'm not. I thank God that I went through the challenges and the trials and had my stepdad, had my dad to teach me the things that they did so I could feel comfortable with who I was, even though people talked about me, put me down, tried to fight me, where I had to go to a whole nother school just to be able to get an education. Hey, man, I thank God that I didn't compromise my identity. God made me in His image, in His likeness, to be just like Him, to dominate, not people, but dominate this earth, dominate the things that He's called me to do, dominate. And we should be doing that instead of whining and complaining. Oh, they did this to me and they put me down here and put me down that. Man, look, bro. Or, I need, in order to, to not be put down, I need to be more like other people. I need to find a way to be more like other people and blend with the crowd, the greater good and all this kind of nonsense. The only good is God good. The only greater good is God good. Ain't no greater good without God. Because He knows the end before the beginning. He knows what's going to happen was. This person over here doesn't know what's going to happen was. He don't know what the greater good is because he don't know the end of the things. Don't come talk to me about no greater good. Listen, I'm going to do it God's way. But anyway, moving on.
God bless you all. Remember, the real fight is over the quitting. And I will never, ever quit. God bless you.
As always, we are blessed to be a blessing, and our desire is that we have been a blessing to you. Peace.